Welcome to another episode of 10xMarketer podcast. If you're coming here for the first time, make sure you follow and subscribe us on your favorite channel. We are available on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcast. Today we have Nisha Nain with us. She's a LinkedIn growth expert and was also featured in Favicon's top 200 list from India for sharing authentic content on LinkedIn. Today, we will be discussing an important topic, that is how to grow on LinkedIn by sharing content, by being authentic, and by being present on LinkedIn.
Firstly, thank
Questions?
you so much for having me here. So, I am a personal branding strategist. I started off my career on LinkedIn. So, LinkedIn is my second home, you can say. So, what now? You must be assuming what I do. So, I help C-suite executives, as in like the CEOs, the founders, co-founders, everybody to build their personal brands on LinkedIn. Now, why does it matter? The reason is plain and simple, because founders have their own journeys, and they must have some learnings that everybody needs to know, and they want to be approachable these days. So since I build my personal brand on LinkedIn, and it has given me so much, that is why I have planned to grow as a personal branding agency. So it's by the name of Blue Mango Digital, founded by me, and I have my own team wherein we help the founders build their personal brands on LinkedIn. And apart from that, we help people to build their brands from scratch, not just personal brands, but any startup. For example, right now we are helping this finance related firm to get started with. We firstly started with building their logo, designing their logo, and then their website and everything, because see, it's important to have a good voice and tone to your brand. So that is where we come into the picture, and we help brands to grow from scratch. So yeah, this is about me.
Awesome. It is great having you here. So, I'll start with the first and very straight question.
Because
Why
we have
LinkedIn?
had too much of Facebook and Instagram, I think. Also, a lot of people are active there, right? So you'll find Gen Z and all the millennials and our parents, people of our parents age, everybody there, and they post very casual, things on those platforms. But what about when we want to talk about really something substantial? For example, something happening in Microsoft, nobody would be interested in knowing about it on Instagram, or maybe where they must be interested in some kind of video or something like that. But when we talk about professionalism and what is happening in the corporate sector, and what is the hiring process, see the latest hiring firing thing, everything that is going on a serious note, when we need to know about that, we need LinkedIn, because that is the place where genuine information is being transferred from one person to the other person. We have all the corporates there, we have the founders there, then we have like really big good influencers there, who do not talk about just like random things, but things that keep you motivated in your professional network, in your professional life. So that is why LinkedIn is a very filtered platform, something that hasn't got a lot of uh, I guess a casual traffic as of now. But yeah, it's a very lively place to be motivated, get hired, hire someone, or maybe start your first gig. So yeah, that's it.
Awesome. So, you also talked about personal brand in your introduction. So, how do you define the personal brand and what role LinkedIn plays in
Personal
building that
brand,
brand for
I
yourself?
would say, for example, if I look at myself, Nisha in 2022, I was, a daughter to my father, I was a wife to my husband, and a mother to my 6 months old daughter. But after 6 months of delivering her, I just thought that what am I going to do with my life, because I was already helping my husband with his business. But I really wanted to do something, so that when my daughter gets older, she must see me as someone who has hustled. She doesn't. I really wanted her to be, look at her mother and see that, yeah, she's doing something. So I started creating content on LinkedIn, Right, because I have been a writer all my life, as in I always like to read and write, and I was a literature student. So see, writing was something that came naturally to me. So that is where my best friend suggested that why don't you start working on LinkedIn, or maybe start applying for a writer's job or something like that. Then I just went on LinkedIn and started applying for jobs. And eventually I saw that, yeah, people are creating such beautiful content on LinkedIn. Why don't I just post? It took me 3 months, believe me, 3 months to post my first article. You can see my first content piece on LinkedIn. And when I see myself today on LinkedIn, I have been featured as one of the top 200 favicon creators of this year's edition that came out in May. And right now, I'm working with good C-suite executives, helping them build their personal brands. I have my own team. I have a company registered. So all of this has happened because of LinkedIn. And if a housewife like me can do it all, then everybody can do it on LinkedIn. So it's not only about just one platform, but this is something that I call my comfort zone. People are building their brands on Instagram or any other platform, on Twitter as well. But LinkedIn is something that is like very very filtered platform. That is where you can get substantial leads, substantial projects to work upon. That is why LinkedIn is my preferred choice. And personal brand is very important to build on LinkedIn. Why? Because see, that is something that differentiates you from the, for example, you see yourself as a X person and there's a Y person. Now how do you differentiate if you are doing the same thing? For example, you are in the marketing area, I am in the marketing area, right? Everybody knows that these two people are in the marketing area. Now how would they differentiate? How would they know that what are your top skills and what are my top skills? Should they hire you for SEO or me for SEO? But when we put our work across there, when we talk about what we know, that makes a difference. Now, that is where personal brand comes to the play, right? When we demonstrate what we do and when we share what we know, then it makes a real difference, and this is where we win as a personal brand. So that is why it's important.
Okay, so my follow up question is quite related to what you have been saying so far. During our initial discussion to building this podcast, you were saying you can convert LinkedIn into your personal landing page or a portfolio page. How do you really do that? What are the steps involved in creating a page that attracts your
Right, so
potential
for example,
customers?
you start a brand. Then what do you do in this digital age? You firstly build your website. Right now the website is very aligned. They have the particular brand kit, you have the tone, you have the voice, everything. Only then you can get the experience, a good user experience, right? User experience is very important. In the same way, if any professional is coming to your LinkedIn profile, he's not there to chit chat with you, right? He's obviously there to either ask something from you or give something to you. Henna. So now what happens is, when you say that you are active on LinkedIn and your profile is not optimized, it doesn't look like, it says something particular about this person. For example, you like blue color, and you want that your personality very much reflects with the same color. So you build your personal brand around blue color, right? But when you do not do that, it seems very scattered. If you do not add your experiences, your portfolio, or maybe any contact link from where people can book a call with you, from where people can see that, yeah, this person is very much approachable, then you cannot call it a personal brand. Then you cannot call, you can simply call it a profile, right? Any profile, any random profile. But now when I say that LinkedIn is your personal, your professional portfolio, what I mean is your profile is like seamless. The experience that any user gets by looking into your profile should be like memorable. For example, you land on a profile and you see that there is a one particular color theme followed, there is one particular font that has been followed. It you will simply grasp through it in a go. But if it is not filtered, then you won't like it. You should give them the experience of something that, yeah, this person is very much professional, they have maintained it all. You must tell your audience that what you do clearly. See, nobody is going to read all of the fancy words and stuff like that. Write in a very layman language that anybody can understand very easily. Just create a banner, a very clean banner that that just states what you do, and give them your email id, and if you want your contact number as well. Then write a headline and tell people what you do. For example, if you are an entrepreneur, write you are an entrepreneur. These are the keywords from where your profile is going to rank, right? You must mention your designation in your headline, then what you have done or any substantial results. For example, you have generated revenue of $5,000, $50,000, anything like that, or you have achieved a certain millions of impressions for any clients. Just mention that, because this is where you can build your credibility on LinkedIn, that yeah, this person has been in the game for longer period of time, and yeah, they are very much capable of giving you the same results. This improves your chances of getting that call booked, who could be your next potential client. Then you must always, yeah, you must always put a
True.
call link on your LinkedIn profile, so that you seem very approachable. Now, why I say this? Because personal brand is not something that you just write content and post and ghost, right? It's not only about posting content. It it is very much dependent upon your community, the kind of people you interact with, right? It is your community only that can empower you, that can also get you leads, right? For example, you know me, I know you. If you think that my work is good, you if someone asks that they want to build their personal brand, you might refer me, right? And all of this has happened because I have a call link to my profile, and you too have a call link to your profile, right? And then also another thing that people miss on LinkedIn is leveraging the featured section. For example, these days, if you are like a really good creator, or you can say a very active creator, you get featured on a lot of articles, right? Then you do a lot of podcasts. If you have done something like that, or you have achieved like really good results, you must add them in your featured section, because nobody is going to scroll your entire profile, right? If you add your achievements in your featured section as a post or maybe a link or something like that, then it gets easier for people to understand what you have done so far. Also, another important thing in making your LinkedIn profile as your landing page is adding your job experiences. Now, why do I say this? Because people think that, yeah, we are just starting afresh, let's keep it candid, right? But it doesn't work like that. If you tell people that what you have been doing since 15 years, they will know your transition. They will know that what roles and responsibility you have handled earlier, and how you can make it work for them as well. It is very important to add your experience section in a very in a specific manner, in a very detailed manner. Add your skills to the experience, add a paragraph or two as what roles and responsibilities you have been involved with, because all of these things matter, right? Also, if you can get a good recommendation from any of your clients, then it would be a banger for your profile. Recommendations work like mm, a spark to your profile, because if someone on LinkedIn, on such a professional platform, is recommending you for a particular service, then yeah, it if even if the client, your potential client, is not convinced enough to get you that to give you that project, then when they scroll and they see that recommendation from a like real person, they will give it a second thought for sure. So all of these things.
Awesome. So you have been very detailed and thorough on this part, and I really like the way you have been putting things across. This is definitely valuable for the audience that are listening to this podcast. Now, next question is related to what you have been saying so far and what you have been advocating so far. That is authenticity. And everyone is behind AI, and like putting across content is more important than being authentic for many people. How do you suggest staying authentic? What are the steps involved in that? What do you really do to stay authentic and still create
Okay,
content
so
at a
now
scale?
talking about content and AI, this has been a very controversial topic so far. So, yeah, but my take on this is very general, as in living in the age of AI, you cannot ignore AI, right? And being a creator, that for example, if I talk about myself, I have to create content for my profile, right? Then I have to filter out content for 10 of my clients, right? Now they have come through my credibility. I cannot leave everything on my team because everything has to get cross checked from me and then go to their profile or maybe for the review or anything like that. So now the important part is to leverage AI. AI can never humanize. I'm sorry to say, a lot of people believe this, but as a writer myself, I believe that AI cannot replace humans. Why? Because every anecdote has a different experience, right? Has a different human value added, a different value emotion, a human emotion added to it. And how can AI like tell that what you were feeling at that point of time? You can just give AI a prompt that this XYZ event happened in my life and it made me feel like XYZ. No, but it will just generate the content. How will it tell that, yeah, it was that particular time when I felt so bad and then this certain thing happened and then it gave me motivation or something like that? We can definitely use AI for creating the content strategy because, yeah, it is good at it. Looking at the positive side, you can help getting, the voice or tone corrected, getting the grammar set. These are the little things that can be, rectified by AI. But to create the entire content with AI, I don't think so it is a good strategy. Also, I think that if you are building personal brands, specifically when we talk about personal brands, then you are legit taking money out of their pockets. And if you then give them typically AI generated content, then what value are you adding to your credibility? It may act as negative to your personality as well, to your professional image as well, to do something like that. So I am someone who is not in the support of using AI as a whole for generating content, because anyway it's a machine and it learns the way we use it. That is why it's called machine learning, right? We can use it, we can leverage it, but we cannot depend upon it as a whole, because everybody gets to know when you use certain words like unwavering or something like that. There are some particular words on that AI uses, and I see in a lot of contents, to be very honest. And you just make out. And being a creator and being in the industry, just when AI stepped in, you know it, man, you know it, that this is like clearly generated with AI. And you just say, shit, yeah, why is this person doing it? Why? So yeah.
True. Now, the next question is related to the content creation only. One of the thing that you mentioned is every post can be a differentiator, and when people try to create a differentiation, maybe they throw some ideas at AI and they think that AI can create that differentiated post. But you have been advocating against using AI for creating content because that will not make you authentic. And I think one of the things that really helped you even be on my podcast is the way you have been putting the content across. And you also made to that favicon list, which is the authentic creators list. They have vetted it very aggressively before putting it across. So how do you really make every post stand out? And so that is one aspect. Second aspect is when you have to have that pressure of making every post stand out, you also feel creating content
uh
becomes more difficult for you.
All
How do
right.
you really
So
do
my
that in that case?
approach towards creating content is never a very burdensome effort or a burdensome activity that I have to do. It comes out naturally, to be very honest. And especially for my profile, I am very candid with what I write. Why? Because people like that. People like you sharing stories that make sense, not stories that just sound like bots. Right. So to maintain authenticity of content, you just have to be disciplined enough that yeah, I have to write content. All right. And when you have that mindset, trust me, it's been like 2 years that I've been active on LinkedIn. You see content in everything. You see a learning in everything. You see, you try to find different analogies, as like for example, while you are even driving, you think about the content that yeah, I have to post today. So it comes out very naturally with me. And yeah, because I love writing stories, I love creating stories, so that is how it helps me in maintaining my clients' profiles as well. Why? Because every person is different, right? Every person is different in their experiences, in their qualities, or in their discipline or anything like that. And it gives me a different edge to explore their personalities even further. So for that, what I do, it may like, you can always include it as a tip. So I tell a lot of people about it. So when you're handling a founder's profile, right, so they are not very available, they are not available for even reviews. Henna. So now what happens, the responsibility comes upon our shoulders that yeah, we have to keep the profile active. Now how do we do it? So what I do, I enlist a few questions, for example 10 questions for every month, right, related to the previous year's content, previous month's content that I have added in his profile. Now what I do, wahan se I pick up his emotional intent and things that he might take as actionable. Now I filter out questions, I ask him questions, and I just tell them, yeah, just send me the voice notes. Right. Now what happens when you get voice notes instead of just something in written, you can actually measure the depth of certain words that the founder is using. Now with their experience, now when they're vocal enough about something, you get that emotional angle from them, right? So this is how you can create stories around those experiences. This is how you can write, and you can actually use their exact words and try to stuff them in somewhere, because we do not realize the importance of stories. But when we put across the exact same words, as writers we have to be creative enough, to be very honest. But this strategy works out really well for me. Why? Because here I am using their experiences, I'm using their emotions. It's just my words that will make a difference. And yeah, obviously a good image that my team creates or something like that. So it's important to.
Awesome. So far, our focus has more been on how to put yourself across, how to put your content across. Now, this is a community, and you also have to engage with other people who are posting content on their own. So, one part of engaging is the comments. And many people feel, even I had a guest in the past who had a very good strategy, who listed out that yes, commenting is very, very important. How do you see that? What are these strategies to make good engaging content out of commenting on other
Okay.
people's post, how to
So I
engage with
think
other
this month
people?
only I created a post wherein I gave insights of what I have learned with commenting so far. I do not recall the post as a whole, but I can share some bits and pieces. So one of the most powerful things that comments can do is they can get you business. And I don't say this because I don't say this randomly, because comments have given me business. Right. So, for example, there is a strategy that you must comment on like big influencers posts or something like that. Now, it's very important to filter out which influencer is similar to your personality. which influencer talks about your industry, which influencers can have a network from where you can build your community, as well as the network that can get you leads, right? First important thing is that. Now when you comment on their profiles, make sure that you don't sound like good post, I like it, well said, well written. No, they know that they have written it well, they know that it's good. That every writer has this prejudice that, yeah, I have written it good, that is why I'm posting, I'm making it live. Right? You must add something substantial to the comment. A big, not a big paragraph is always needed. You can add a pun to it, you can add your experience to it, you can just pick up one line and explain that how it resonates with you as a person. Now what happens when you write this perspective? First thing is, the creators acknowledge that you constantly comment, right? Second thing, if someone likes your perspective, they might DM you, they might send you connection requests, you can get more followers from there. And third and very important thing is the thing that happens with me quite often. I get a lot of, I know this will sound like very crazy, but yeah, I get a lot of my content ideas out of the comments that I post on other people's feed. So when you read about one concept, and then you add your perspective to it, and then you think about it कि यार मैंने ऐसा लिखा है, yeah, this makes sense, and we can create a post out of it. Let's create an analogy. So you are having like three benefits of creating one valuable comment: getting leads, getting noticed, and getting content ideas. And all of these three things are very important to stay consistent on LinkedIn. So if one comment can do such a good thing to you, when you comment on 10 influencers posts, for example, my favorite creator on LinkedIn is Tim Dennings. When we talk about content that makes you happy, content that motivates you sometimes. And my favorite person branding coach or person branding creator is Jasmine Alec, no doubts. So when I consume his content, and when I write a comment upon his content, then it fulfills me as a creator or as a person branding strategist, that yeah, I always get to learn something from his content. And at the same time, I'm able to contribute something to the community through his content, right? So these two people put out like really good content on LinkedIn, and my most favorites. And yeah, so commenting, I have told you about like three tips about commenting. And now if you ask me about the AI generated comments, then it's a big no. Big no. Because lately a lot of founders have literally posted screenshots of having same comments in a row, like 7 8 comments in a row, the same comments, because they are generated from AI. And my only point is, if you cannot be that much consistent on LinkedIn, don't be. Post two comments or three comments. You just need, if you do not wish to be like a very constant here but still want to be in the game, but add comments, but do not just like throw comments, right? Because it's disrespectful for the person who is posting as well. As in, you are just sort of doing a duty, that I have to put across a comment, I'm doing it. So it is something that we should not do as a community.
True. Now, you already talked about a lot of them, but I would specifically like to ask this question again. What are some of the common mistakes that people should avoid
Okay.
when they are on
Firstly,
LinkedIn?
don't copy paste content from GPT. Those rocket emojis and those lock emojis and all of those emojis that GPT gives, anybody and everybody can make out that yeah, this person has created content from GPT. Also, after noticing down particular pointers about GPT content, also do not use the hashtags that GPT gives you, because and again anybody can make out that these are the hashtags that GPT has given you. And the third thing would be, do not Do not say or state something that you haven't done, because at some point of time it is going to come on your credibility, it is going to harm your brand. And in this digital space everything is transparent. If you state something, then you must support it with something substantial, right? If you say that, for example, I have generated 80,000 US dollars revenue for my client. Now what happens? Your reputation will go down, and that too in a loop. So yeah, it happens quite often, because I have been on calls with a lot of people, and they say that yeah, we have talked with people, we have been in touch with personal branding strategists, and they just do not disclose their prices. And when they state something, they do not substantiate it with an example or with a case study or anything like that. So if you claim to be a person with certain skill sets, make sure that you put across your skills very specifically through your network, through your content. Authenticity over anything else on LinkedIn especially. Second thing is, you must leverage AI. I'm not saying that AI is useless, it is very much useful. It can help you in many ways, but do not rely upon it 100%, because it hasn't reached that level. And to be very honest, in the content industry, you cannot rely on AI, right? Because human emotions, human writing is way too different. Machines can learn, but they cannot be replaced by humans. That's my take.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. It has been really wonderful. Now, the next question is, let's say
Right.
somebody is just starting on LinkedIn and they don't have much of the background or history of using LinkedIn. Maybe if you can guide them in a step-by-step manner, what they have to do first, what they have to do second, how do they start building content? Maybe
I'll just quickly
quick
give you
summary
some
would be
steps.
helpful.
For example, I'll say somebody who wants to start their journey on LinkedIn. Firstly, they don't know the platform. Yeah, it very much makes sense. Read a few blogs about how to use the platform, because there is because LinkedIn is a very sensitive platform. Your profile gets restricted very easily if you try to use any third party tools, or if you try to automate anything. Then there are high chances that your profile might get restricted. So make sure that you are being very authentic, you are being very strict with what you do on LinkedIn. So first step that I would suggest everybody is, follow follow people, follow good influencers, research on Google. You'll get like influencers or maybe big LinkedIn creators from every niche. Follow them, follow their content, see what they are doing, see how they are writing, and see how people are reacting. Do this activity for a week, and now once you follow, for example, like 50 people on an everyday basis, you scroll your feed for 50 posts per day. Now you can filter out that which person is there that you like the most, right? For example, there are 50 influencers. Out of 50 you can filter down 20, and from these 20 you can make out, yeah, I get this kind of content is what I like, and now I will also create content in the similar manner. Create an engagement sheet. A Google sheet would be enough. I use Google Sheets all the time to create engagement list for even my profile. Used to upgrade it every time, and for my clients as well. Create an engagement sheet. Engage with people first. Do not just start posting. For a week, follow people, follow their content, then for a week start engaging on other people's feeds, and in the meanwhile optimize your profile. For optimization, I'll tell you what all are the important things. You must have a good, very clear of picture that shows your face very clearly, 100% center aligned, right? Use that picture, then create a banner. Write in the banner what you do, right? And add your email ID. Always add your email ID. right? Then write a good headline, again what you do. Then add your top skills, turn on the creator mode, add your top skills. From these are the top skills. Adding the top skills is very important because these act as a key these top skills act as a keyword for a profile to rank. All right, add your top skills, then add your about section. In the about section you must tell your story in 2 3 lines, as in who were you earlier, who are you now, what you do, what have you done so far, and in the end how can you help the other person, anybody who's coming to your profile, right? And your contact number, if you want to add a contact number, and your email id or your website link or anything like that. Then you must add your educational background, your professional background. Then your a call link, you can add a calendly call link or maybe a top mid call link. Then add your featured section, as in if you are just beginning your journey, for example you're a graphic designer and you have done an internship or anything like that, or not even internship, just go on the tool that you're comfortable with, create some designs and showcase them, right, in the featured section, that you can design something like that. Or maybe try to design for big influencers, like for example Jasmine Alex profile looks like this, but I can also create a design and his profile look like that, right? So you can do something like that. Or maybe if you are a writer, then write a good post for any something that resonates with the audience, you know. So you can add all of these things, and your profile will start ranking. So you are already engaging, and in the meanwhile you have optimized your profile, so it gives a good boost to your profile to rank better. Now that you have been engaging with people for a week, now who are these people? These people must be big influencers. Then people within your community, within your professional network. For example, I say that you are a graphic designer, follow big graphic designers, follow graphic designers of your own size or anything like that. Then you can follow digital marketing people because they might have like good opportunities for you. Then follow other big CEOs, or any CEO that or maybe any HR person who you think that anything, or anybody who you think that can benefit you in some or the other way, right? Now after a week of engaging, then you start putting out content. And when you start, see, every person brand grows on their own pace, but I would really suggest that you start with posting at least 4 times a week. Stick to one timing. Why? Because the algorithm works in that manner. Stick to one timing, and the most important tip is stay active before 30 minutes of posting, stay active after 30 minutes of posting. Your profile must be in some activity for an hour before and after posting, because that is where the maximum engagement comes in. And when engagements start flowing, then you build your personal brand. And also you must send out connection requests, some connection requests on an everyday basis. You get a specific number of connection requests that you can send to people. So yeah, you must do this activity on an everyday basis, and try to communicate with as many people as you can. If you are a beginner, you can also try out consultation calls from people who have been active on LinkedIn, from people like me as well. I also offer consultation calls. So these calls, what we do, if you are stuck with something on LinkedIn, we help you there, right? For example, you say, I'm not able to grow my community, can you help me with the engagements? As in, can you tell me which all are the people that I should engage with, which all are the events? You must attend some audio video events as well. Those are like really good learning experiences, and you get to learn a lot from them. So these are the basic things that you must do to be active on LinkedIn. So yeah, LinkedIn is thriving these days, and to miss out this opportunity at this point of time, I think you should not. Because we are more than a family of 1 billion
True,
people
that is very
on
important.
LinkedIn, and it has just started to
True.
thrive. It is the best time that you must leverage the platform.
Awesome, Nisha. Now, another question is, there are some new features that are getting added on LinkedIn. One specifically is the contribution to LinkedIn articles. I've seen them ranking on Google as well, so that's a good opportunity. Second is the top voice badge. I've seen many people having a specific top voice badge. You might also have one. How do you really get that? And what should be your strategy
Okay,
to
so there
contribute on
has been
LinkedIn
like a good
articles?
debate about this topic for a longer period of time, that people were saying LinkedIn is just distributing badges to anybody and everybody that is contributing. Now LinkedIn has been like more strict towards it. What happens is, when you are pretty much active on the platform wants to give you back. Right. They want the audience to know that this person has been here in the game for a longer period of time, and LinkedIn recognizes you as a top voice in a specific skill. For example, I have a personal branding top voice badge. Right, that is the yellow badge that LinkedIn gives to the community contributors. Now, these are the collaborative articles that you have to contribute your perspective about a certain topic, and when LinkedIn feels that yeah, you have been cooperating for a like good number, say 5, 6, 10, 15, 20. Sometimes it takes even 20 articles to get that badge. Right, but these articles are not available on everybody's profile. I have been on calls wherein people say, yeah, I want this badge. I want the top voice badge. But it doesn't happen like that. When you are very authentic with your content, very consistent, consistency plays a very important role in getting that notification to contribute in that article. When you are consistent enough, when LinkedIn feels that yeah, you can add good value to your community, only then you can get that badge. And also, getting that badge definitely gives you an edge on the platform. Firstly, you feel confident enough. For example, you say there are like 50,000, for example, say 50,000 people in my network, and out of them 30,000 are person branding strategists, but I am the one who has the person branding badge. Right, so it gives you a sense of confidence that LinkedIn has recognized your contributions. Then secondly, when you get a chance to close a deal, then also it matters. Why? Because I have been in touch with founders who have their own marketing teams, but they want me to handle their LinkedIn profiles. Why? Because LinkedIn has already authorized me of using the platform. Right, so it gives you a different edge in closing deals as well, and people feel that yeah, this person very much knows the game. That is also there. But yeah, earlier a lot of people were getting that badge. Now it has been limited.
Awesome, Nisha. So it has been a great discussion so far. Uh, I would like to take your concluding remarks before we close the episode
Okay,
for
my
today.
concluding remark would be, again, LinkedIn is thriving. Don't take this platform very easy breezy lemon squeezy, because it is going to be very competitive in the market in the coming future, in the coming maybe say 5 years or 6 years. Because earlier it was just a platform wherein people were looking for jobs, people were getting hired. But now it has become a platform that not only gives you jobs, but something like Fiverr or freelancer.com or anything like that, wherein you can start your own career. And it's just one platform that you have to be active upon. Because if I see myself, Nisha 2 years back, she was known by like nobody. None of the professionals knew me. And when I started off, it happens, no, you have your friends and family on Facebook, you have friends and family on Instagram, so the followers increase or anything like that. So when I started off, I had like how many 100 followers. And last year only I had around 3,000 followers, and now I am close to 28,000 followers. So it takes time to build. Do not, it's not a race, it's a marathon. Keep it slow. LinkedIn is a game of patience. If you believe that yeah, it's been like 3 months I've been creating content, and I'm not getting any leads, You're not getting any leads because it takes time, right? When you even learn something, when get a degree, it takes you 3 years to get a degree, and then it takes you around 2, 3, 4, 5 interviews to get that one job. So how can you expect LinkedIn to give you a job in 3 months? It is a definitely full-time job, because when I started off, I remember I used to post every single day. I got my first gig for 30 paisa per word. There was this blog that I wrote, 30 paisa per word, and I was so happy that I got a project to work upon because I was a newbie. So it is not like you do not have potential opportunities on LinkedIn when you are starting off. Those days are gone, to be very honest. Gone are those days. People like me, we can work from home, right from the comfort of our home, manage our children as well. My child is 2.5 years old only, and I'm managing work along with this. So LinkedIn has given me a lot. So huge respect to LinkedIn, and a very, 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 I'm very thankful to LinkedIn for accepting me as a creator. And I'm not stopping here. So I think you must also start from here. That's my take.
Awesome, Nisha. So it has been a great discussion so far, and I like the quote that you have given me. LinkedIn is the game of patience. I will definitely remember this part. Thank you so much for
Same.
being here. It was really pleasure talking to you. Maybe we'll record another episode 2 years down the line where we'll talk
Yeah.
about your experience more
All
in
right.
detail again. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wonderful chat.